Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another video. This week I want to dive into being single during the holidays. This is a great topic because let's just be frank. There are going to be times throughout the course of our life where we are single. We are possibly going through a divorce. We are, we're ending a relationship. We've been single for a long period of time. And while the holiday season is an amazing time of year, for some of us during the course of our life, we're not going to always have the most amazing holiday season every single year for our entire life, right? We're going to go through some transitions. We're going to go through some painful experiences that are going to be difficult, right? And so for this video, I want to give you some tips on how you can really embrace this season of your life, right? And really think about how you can start this new year. The holidays are an amazing time of year, but really, why are they so amazing? They're amazing because we put such an emphasis on being grateful, being thankful, spending time with the people that we really love and family and friends and food and gathering and like all that stuff. Really, if you think about it, that's kind of the stuff that we should be practicing throughout the whole year. And especially during this time of year, people are always saying, this is something we should be doing this every day. This should be something that we're mindful of every single day. So I feel like for the people that really are mindful of these things, being in the moment, being present, being with family and friends, staying connected, all of these things that the holidays kind of represent for us, if you can practice that throughout the time, the entire course of the year, then while the holiday season, of course, it's, depending on where you live and what your traditions are, you get to embrace those traditions that only happen during this time of year. But we won't put such an emphasis on being happy during this time of year because not everyone is. And I think that that's something that's just real and blunt and important to kind of remind ourselves is that not everyone is experiencing pure joy. Everyone's going through something. And if you're going through something really painful, you're ending a marriage, you have children, and now, you're not having the same family traditions. A lot of that can be really painful. A lot of it is a lot of grief. But there are also a lot of really beautiful things that come of being single during this time of year. And of course, we go to our holiday parties, we go to our family gatherings, and the dreaded question is always asked, why are you still single? It usually kind of follows with either one of two people asking you. They'll either ask you, why are you still single? And they'll make a point to kind of like boost you up. Like, you're so amazing. I can't believe you haven't found anyone yet. Like, you're such a catch. And it almost starts to make you feel even worse because you're like, okay, if I'm such a catch, then why am I still single? And then, of course, there's the other person that will say, why are you still single? Like, are you being too picky? And then they kind of go into, maybe your standards are too high, blah, blah, blah thing. And then again, if you're not like mindful of any of this stuff of projection and like all of that, someone else's wounds, someone else's insecurities, you might begin to kind of question, like, am I being too picky? Am I a person that has too high of standards? Am I asking for too much? Do I want too much? That's probably not capable. I'm probably not going to get everything I want. And then you start kind of like going into like that realm. It's really just important to be really honest with people because a lot of people because of the way that they were programmed, they feel more comfortable when people are linked up. And maybe they're not secure with themselves where if they were single, they would want to just be in a relationship. If you've been single for a long period of time, there comes a point where you get very comfortable, right? Just like you do in a relationship. You get very comfortable with your routine and your way of lifestyle and everything. And you almost get to a place where you're just happy. I mean, if you can really be honest with yourself, of course, if you're newly single, you might go through periods of grief. You might go through periods of like wanting to replace your old partner and just hurry up and like link up and all that kind of stuff. But then as time kind of fades, you get very much settled into your life and your routine. You accept where you are in life. And honestly, that's the healthiest, best place to be because that's when your standards become really, really high. Because when you have a great life by yourself, you know that you created that's your life, that's your thing, and anyone else that's going to come in is really going to be needing to bring something to the table. So anyone that's coming in that's trying to take away from that joy that you've created in your own life within yourself, you're not going to even be attracted to that type of person because, I mean, really and truly, why would you be attracted to someone that's not at your level? I say this so often throughout all of my videos, is your happiness really has to do with the thoughts that you think. And you get to choose your thoughts. Now, it's okay to have a lonely thought, but the minute you start indulging in it, where it kind of takes over and then you feel really sad and depressed, that means that you had a thought, but you never actually got yourself out of the thought. You almost made yourself feel worse, where you stayed stuck in the thought. And it's not as hard as some people make it out to be. You just have to be very mindful in the moment of when you're starting to like engage in those thoughts and really feed those like worry thoughts or fear thoughts or whatever. Okay, so let's kind of get into this. I want to give you, when I was thinking about when I was single, I wanted to like make a list of like all the things that I was like, wow, like I'm actually glad I'm single, because like I get to do this now instead of, always focusing on all the things that we don't have. Let's focus on the things that are actually like great, that are going well, and that's the stuff that's going to make us feel better. So how do we embrace being single? Number one, feel whatever you need to feel. If you wake up Christmas morning and you're alone and you need to shed some tears because you're going through a transition, you're going through a tough time, absolutely feel that. But don't forget to get yourself out of that feeling. Get up, take a walk, maybe do a little workout in your house, like maybe do some work, journal. Don't go on social media. You don't need to see everyone, every person posting pictures on the holidays about everything that's going amazing in their life, because we all share all the great things, but we never share the vulnerabilities and the stuff that we're really struggling with. So don't get so obsessed with all the smoke and mirrors. The next thing is you get to decorate your house the way you want. And you know what? That's a really tiny thing, but one of the great things about being single is you don't have to talk and discuss anything with anyone. You can do whatever you want. And so, if you've been in a relationship for a long period of time, it might feel kind of weird to like all of a sudden have all this responsibility on you, but embrace this time of year. This could be the last year you are single, and hell, you might as well have a good time before the next person is going to, enter into your life. So embrace this, decorate your house how you want, watch all the silly holiday movies that you enjoy watching, whether it's like you're an adult and you want to watch those like kid cartoons that you watched growing up, and maybe your ex-partner, or you don't have to talk about like, okay, I don't want to watch Charlie Brown Christmas or whatever. You can just watch whatever you want. You don't have to talk to anyone about it. You can grab a big blanket, grab your laptop, put on a cartoon, do a little bit of work, just take care of yourself. Go take a bath, like go take a nap, like read a book, like whatever you want to do. This is your time. And like I always said, I always looked at each year as like, wow, this could be the last year that I'm single, or this could be this could be the last day you're single. You could meet someone tomorrow. Like, you never know what tomorrow's going to bring. So you always have to embrace where you are, because you don't know what's going to happen next. I always loved this one, but as we're going to like these holiday parties, and like at times, of course, it can like kind of stink going by ourselves. But again, if you kind of change the way you look at things, something doesn't have to completely be an awful situation, because the fact of the matter is you get to leave a party whenever you want to leave a party. You don't have to go to someone else's family Christmas parties, or someone else's work holiday parties, or someone else's friends' holiday parties. So you don't have to go to any other parties other than your own. You don't have to mingle with people that you don't know and have those kind of, maybe even forced conversations if you don't really enjoy doing that. You don't get to do any of that kind of stuff, which is, a great thing, because again, you get to do whatever you want to do. So you just go to your own family parties, your own friend parties. And if you don't have a lot of parties to go to, then honestly, make your own. Find groups of people in your life that are single, or maybe even not single, like all of your girlfriends, all of your guy friends, and you create a new tradition. You create a holiday party that you organize yourself, whether it's making a reservation at a restaurant or doing something at your house where you get to kind of like do the hosting and the cooking and the decorating, and have people come into your home and show them hospitality and all the things that make you amazing, right? Because we just want to be with the people that we really love, and our friends and family. And so we don't always have to wait for the invitation. We can create something for ourselves. That was something that I always did, is I said, I'm not going to sit around and wait for someone to book a trip to, a tropical island, or have like a great dinner. Like, I made all that stuff happen, and I invited whoever wanted to come, and I just enjoyed myself. I was in the moment, and I was the one creating my life. I was the one creating new traditions. So embrace this time of year, get out of your comfort zone, and start making new traditions for yourself. or just the ability to kind of like sit at someone else's house that you know you're comfortable with, you know, sit back, slouch back, have seconds and thirds and eat all these sweets and just enjoy yourself during this time of year. Like, you get to completely be yourself, and that's a really great thing. You don't have to worry about, and I know some people like really struggle with this. They're like, well, now like no one's buying gifts for me or no one's doing anything for me. Go out and do it for yourself. You know, during the holidays, I would always, of course, buy gifts for my son and my friends and my family, but I also very much took care of myself. And I said, you know what, if I'm not having the opportunity to buy presents for someone that I really care about, I'm going to do it for myself. And so I would book a whole day at a spa, and I would treat myself to a manicure, a pedicure, a facial, and then a massage. And of course, after all of that, I would leave and be completely relaxed and exhausted. But it was my gift to myself, for me loving myself, for me working really hard this, you know, that last year, and just being able to do nice things for yourself and not always being so focused on someone not doing it for you, or you not being able to, you know, have someone in your life that you can buy things for. And the last thing, and this is really important, and I kind of touched on this in the beginning of the video, is just honestly start practicing gratitude. Every day, wake up and just be grateful for where you are in life. It doesn't matter if you're in a relationship, it doesn't matter if you're single. If you're single, that means that you don't have anyone unhealthy as a partner in your life. That is cause to practice gratitude. That is cause to be thankful. Of course, we might grieve if we're just coming out of something and things are changing, and that's something that you should absolutely be doing for yourself. But like I said, don't forget to use logic. Don't forget to parent yourself. Don't forget to help yourself out of the hole before you indulge too far into, you know, all the things that you don't have and etc., where it becomes something that's really debilitating, right? Where you get really, really sad and depressed. Because when that happens, you're not using logic, you're just using emotion, and you're not getting yourself out of that situation to help yourself feel better. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button down below, and I will see you next week.